If the idea of traveling feels like the first tiny, fresh breath of air you've had in a long time, but the credit card world feels like a confusing mess of overwhelm and people who keep spreadsheets for fun, what if you could build a travel future that you're genuinely excited about, one tiny, small step at a time? Today, I want to give you my widow-tested strategy that I'll call the one card rule. It's not just having one card forever, it's about having one card at a time. One card at a time, one season at a time, one system, so you know exactly what you're doing. And it's sustainable because it's a system that's reproducible over time. And thousands of people are doing it, especially across America, because we have the opportunity to do so. And I know as a widow, the last thing you want is more complicated things. So my goal for you is to keep this as simple as possible so that by the end of the video, you're feeling like, okay, I think I could do this. You're going to know exactly how to start with one card, know how to use it without overspending in a way that's good for your credit, and how to set it up so you don't have to babysit it over time. And then you might add a second card, but still just use one at a time without sliding into some shiny card spiral. And let me just share something that I've learned. The widows who learn how to do this and use it well aren't the ones who learn the most rules. It's really the ones who learn to utilize the system exactly as it's designed, just one card at a time. I've walked with many widows as they go from, I don't know how to do this or use the points I've earned or even earn points in the first place, to booking travel that is saving them thousands of dollars for themselves and their family members. Now, before we get into it, if you're listening and you're thinking, I'd really love to get into points and miles, but I do not have the capacity to do this on my own right now, that is why I have the Travel More method for widows. Let's book a travel clarity call. We will talk about your goals, the struggles that you're having, and exactly how I can help get you to the travel life that you're dreaming of. It's also just so powerful to have the support of a community, especially other travel-loving widows who really just get it. So the link for that travel clarity call is down below. If you click on that, you'll find the calendar and a way to book the call with us. So let's talk about the one card rule. This is the pace. It's just one card for 60 to 90 days. And here's why this matters. Most people think the problem is that they just don't know enough. And sometimes that's true, but more often the problem is that they're trying too much all at once. They apply for a card and then they see a video about another card and they apply for that one and they see a video about another card. And now they're swimming in different systems, different cards, different points, and all of a sudden it feels too overwhelming to manage and they just kind of end up setting it aside. And I cannot even tell you how many times while I was in that deep grief season that I felt like if something became overwhelming, I was just going to brush it aside. I did not want to deal with it anymore. And I don't want that to become this hobby for you because it has such life-changing implications. We want to keep it simple so that it's actually doable. So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to pick that one card, and for 90 days, you're going to let that card become the card in your wallet. It's going to become very familiar. You're going to know where your points are going. You're going to learn the system. Really what you're doing is you're changing your habit. You're using a new card in your wallet to swipe everywhere you go. If swiping this card isn't going to get you to the minimum spend, then you could also change over some of your auto pays, like your Netflix account, your electric bill, things like that. And you can put them on that new card as well. But I think for most people, you'll probably be able to hit the minimum spend by just making this the card you swipe with. So literally put it in your wallet, but then also add it to your digital wallet so that when you go to tap to pay, which is more and more common, it's also the card that you're using for tap to pay. For the next 2 to 3 months, all you're doing is using this card as often as you can, and you're learning this system. And of course, this card specifically is just an example. It can be any one card, but this happens to be the one I recommend for beginners anyway, which you could check out in another video. If that just brought up a little anxiety for you, like I'm not sure which card to pick or where to even begin, that's another reason we do the travel clarity call, so that we can hop on that call and talk about exactly how I can help you make those decisions. So again, check the link below if you're interested in booking one of those. So the first step was just to use one card. The second step is actually to reroute all of your spending through that card, but only the spending you're already doing. Do I feel like a broken record? A little bit. But I just want to make sure that you realize I am not asking you, and nobody should be asking you, to spend any more money than you're already spending on your regular life. So all of those normal expenses without overspending, anything that you can pay off in full at the end of the month, is what you're going to put on that new card. What I learned after doing step 1 and 2 for my first card was I felt in a rush to get all of my auto pay things like that electric bill and that Netflix account put onto the new card. But what I actually realized is I didn't need to make all those changes right away because I was tapping and swiping enough to hit the minimum spend. In this video up here, I talked all about this and exactly how you can plan that out, knowing your monthly spend. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can watch that video. Okay, step 3 is a really important step in order to make sure that this hobby, if you engage in it, is going to be actually good for your credit score, which is critically important, of course. You're going to take this card and you are going to set it to auto pay. When you go into Chase's system, you're going to make sure that your auto pay statement is set to statement balance so that it pays off in full every month. We do not want you carrying a balance. I have talked about this many times, but 1, this takes off the pressure of you having to remember to go in and pay it, and then 2, it just moves the money out of your debit account in the same way that using a debit card would, except just one time a month instead of every time you swipe. It becomes a no-brainer and you don't have to think too much about it. Now, as a bonus, if you want to go in weekly, check that balance account and pay it down. That will be even better for your credit score because of what's called your credit utilization, but I'm going to talk about that in another video as well. For now, you can just know the less money that's on your card at any one time, the better. So you can let it all go and auto pay at the end of the month. That's totally fine. If you want to try to get your score even higher, you can go in and pay it off each week. You can afford that anyway. So it just kind of becomes a regular habit. And it's nice to check how many points you've been earning as you've been spending. Step 4 is actually to get another card. First, you're going to wait those full 90 days to experience and utilize this card. Learn the system, get to know it. If after 90 days you're feeling confident, you've hit your minimum spend, you're within your budget, then you can very strategically choose a next card to apply for. So what I recommend always is to load your cards into Travel Freely, which is my favorite points and miles tool. And when you do that, once you've loaded in, hey, I got this card on this date, it's going to give you a bunch of recommendations for what you might apply for next. You are going to evaluate which one fits your life best, make a decision, and then proceed. Now, once you do this and you apply for another card, then you are going to literally swap out your cards and put this one in your wallet, put it in your digital wallet, and now this becomes your regular tap card. Now you have a chance to learn a different system, earn different miles, and earning different miles across different programs gives you greater flexibility when you actually go to travel. In the end, it's a really good thing. At the beginning, it can feel overwhelming to try to do too much at once, but if you just go one card at a time, you will learn slowly and systematically how the entire system kind of weaves together to build this beautiful travel future for yourself. The biggest mistake I see most widows make in this space is that they have their one favorite points card and they put all their spending on that card in hopes to just earn and earn and earn points. And yes, you will earn some points that way, but you're just not going to get the bang for your buck that you will if you follow this system where you periodically apply for new cards. Now, I know what you're wondering. You're wondering, when do I cancel them? How many cards am I going to end up with in my wallet? Isn't this going to get too much? And the answer to that question is, we will get there. You never cancel a card within 1 year of opening it, ever. So if you're just starting, don't worry about it right now. Within the next year, I will definitely have a video about whether you should keep, cancel, or downgrade your next card. That is something you don't have to worry about right now. Just know there is a system for that as well, and there are simple decision-making processes for each card about what you should do with it at the year mark, because nobody wants to have 100 cards in their wallet. So yes, you do make an informed decision about that eventually. Now that's just one mistake I commonly see. There are many. I've made a video called The 7 Points Mistakes Widows Make, and it's right here. And if you click on that one, you will learn some of the other mistakes that you want to avoid starting off. Don't get in the weeds, don't get overwhelmed. You could just start right here and we would be good. If any of this is feeling like a lot, I get it. You're dealing with so much and your life has changed a ton. I am just encouraging you to engage in this hobby in a responsible way so that traveling can be a really feasible part of your future. Engaging in this hobby just changes the way you think about travel and what's actually possible. If you want my help doing that, walking alongside of each other, hop on a clarity call with me and we will chat all about your dreams and your goals and how to get you there. I will see you next week.